Yeah, so I think first of all, I thank you all for letting me do this. There's a lot of confusion and misinformation. So the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 has a section 504 in it, and it prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities in federally funded program, and it requires employers to reasonably accommodate them. Been on the books for 50 years. We haven't challenged it, not trying to challenge that law itself. What we're challenging is the fact that the Biden administration basically said, hey, we're going to add to what a disability is the gender identity disorders, gender dysphoria. And they the reason this is important to states because states have to comply with section 504 or the federal government can withdraw the federal funds. And so the Biden administration, even though for 50 years this law has been solid and on the books, the Biden administration says we're just going to out of whole cloth, we're going to add gender identity disorders. That was in May of 2024. So the attorneys general got together, a number of us, and said, "Hey, they can't do that. The rules gender mandate could require schools, universities, etc., to allow boys to use girls' bathrooms and showers, even to live in boys live in girls' dormitories, etc." Um, if states do not comply or did not comply with the Biden rule, then the administration would it would jeopardize the federal funding that we get. So we filed suit to block the addition of the gender dysphoria component. The lawsuit does not seek to end Section 504 outright. In fact, it's been on the books for 52 years. No one has tried to sue over that for 52 years. This is about what the Biden administration did. And when the Trump administration took office, we all agreed to just stay the case, just stop the case, and allow the Trump administration to take a look at this. So, um, part of the confusion is what happens if we win? Well, if we win, the regulations just go back to the way they were before the Biden administration added gender dysphoria. Now, there's a little more confusion too about where we talk about the constitutionality of the law. That part of the lawsuit is making the point that this action by the Biden administration is so obviously illegal that if it were allowed to stay, it would actually twist the meaning of this law and it would be unconstitutional. We're not wanting it to be unconstitutional. We're not saying it's unconstitutional. We're saying if you take the Biden administration's arguments to their ultimate conclusion, they've painted a picture of a law that wouldn't stand. So, anyway, all of this is frozen for now, and the Trump administration is looking at it. I am very confident that it's going to go back to the way it was. So, this is a perfect example of how something on social media can be taken out of context or just a sliver is looked at in the broader context, the broader conversation is not there. So I appreciate y'all giving us some time to talk about this. I know you'll have to clip this, but the more of this that you can use, the better. And we're going to put out a statement today on this, a broader. We've already put some stuff on social media. I'm going to put a comprehensive statement out today. But again, this lawsuit is frozen so the Trump administration can look at what the Biden administration did. But no one's trying to mess with the law that's been on the books for 52 years. 52 years. No one challenged that law before the Biden administration added gender dysphoria because no one's concerned about that law. What we're concerned about is the change that the Biden administration made. And really, to be honest, to be frank, to be complete, the Biden administration jeopardized all of this by trying to make this move. And I believe it was done in the middle of an election year. I believe it was all politics, but I think the Trump administration will reverse it and we'll be back to normal. Well, look, our state has been a leader on the issue of mutilation of minors as it relates to gender dysphoria, gender identity issues. We have laws on the books that we are defending in the federal court system. The governor's been very outspoken. The legislature's been outspoken. We've made it really clear as a state where we stand, and this is consistent with that. Also, we just don't believe that the Biden administration could do this just with the stroke of a pen. So there are a lot of reasons to do this, and we joined the exact month that we joined the lawsuit, September. I think we joined in September. Dysphoria, that's well, we're challenging this on a number of fronts. We're saying it should not be included in this as a disability because it's not the same. We're also saying it was illegal what the Biden administration did. We've got a whole host of arguments of why this is wrong. We think it ought to go back to the way it was before the Biden administration did this in an election year. And I think once people get all the facts, they will understand that this is really we're on the right side here.